Hey, welcome back to North Fork Armory, friends. We're going to do another review of a holster. So if you got to see my review of the Bravo concealment, the one thing I wanted was something that had some versatility for appendix carry, but what it did, it made me look like a fat guy carrying a gun. This one's actually not bad. So I'm wearing one right now, and it's not printing. And that's with my Taurus in there. And I can run the Glock about the same. Doesn't do that. And this one is pretty versatile because it can go back here. It's still pretty concealable. Not bad. So we're gonna show what this is. I'm wearing a jacket because it's cold as shit out here today. But let's get to the bench and review this. So this is from a company called Crossfire. These are pretty readily available online. Cabela's actually carries it. I know that a lot of other kind of chain stores carry them as well. So let's talk first the reason why this was purchased. My wife has not been able to find something that worked well for her, so we just kind of picked this up. So here's what this is. This is a one size fits most holster. So it's designed, anything besides a micro or a little subcompact will actually fit in it. So the disadvantage, obviously, I mean, it has some retention to it, but not really well. So something smaller like that Taurus, when you step up, you know, and that size, still not great retention, but it is in and secured inside your waistband there, so yeah, it's not it. So it doesn't give a good uniform fit to anything that's more kind of generic. But the reason why we bought it, my wife's got the CZ P10, and there's just not a whole lot of holster options available for it yet. And we just needed something for her to kind of try out and see what worked. So we'll talk about the good, bad, and ugly here. So let's do first things first. Build quality. Let's get up here in the light. It's kind of dark and overcast, so the lighting sucks. We can look here. I mean, it's a thick enough Kydex since it's kind of generically shaped for most semi-auto pistols. The edges are not polished. You know, your better quality ones, they will usually polish the sides there and smooth that up, and that's not the case. This is just cut and stuck on here. It's riveted, fine, whatever. You have two screws holding this really shitty clip on here, so that can be taken off, and you wanted to put some other type of clip or a loop system, you can, but this is the only option they have. I have worn this off and on just a little bit over the last couple of months. So we'll talk more about that. As far as quality goes, no. This is pretty cheap material all around. I mean, the sweat guard here is just kind of bent up. The stitching doesn't look super awesome. Something where you see here, this material for the edge, and then they kind of rolled it up and under. Looks pretty hokey to me. It just screams, I don't give a shit about my product. So that's not good. And again, this clip is terrible. So I have worn this and carried both of these at various times. So the bad thing about it is I've worn it in the 4 o'clock position when I've gone to unholster, just doing some dry fire like practice stuff. the whole thing came out. That clip did not lock into my belt positively and hold it. But what I do like about it is if it's in the middle of the night and I've got to get up and run down to the store or something like that, and I'm wearing sweatpants or, you know, basketball shorts, I have actually been able to throw this on appendix, cinch up my shorts with the drawstring, so I am able to carry without trying to throw something just in my pocket. So would I ever recommend this? No. No, with an asterisk. I would if you're really new to carrying, or you are thinking, hey, you know, I've got several different weapons and I'm not sure which one I want to carry, you know, anything like that. You know, because it's a one-size-fits-all type of deal, it's fine. But this is not something I would trust my life to. Now, it has been nice. My wife typically carries off-body, but she has, like when trick-or-treating with the kids and various things like that, she has been able to carry even with, you know, yoga pants or shorts or anything like that she's wearing. So she is able to occasionally carry, and she does feel pretty comfortable with it. Comfort-wise, it's not bad, and it does conceal pretty nicely. For me, it's just about quality. It really looks pretty hokey, but it does serve its purpose. So if you say, hey, I want to start concealed carrying, and I don't know what position is going to be good for me, it's really hard to justify somewhere between $30 and $60 for an appendix carry holster to find out that that doesn't work for you and you want something, you know, to ride back here. So this gives you that ability to kind of test and play with. That being said, as cheaply made as this one seems, keep over here. My Alien Gear actually cost me about the same. Actually, I think this was less. So this is the old leather-backed one that you guys have seen before if you've seen my videos. I guess it's the version 2.0 or whatever, or the version 1. I'm not sure which. But this actually, I think, was less than this. And this gives me adjustable cant, the ability to change out shells. This one is actually the shell for the Taurus, which it holds in there just fine even without being in your waist. And that one for the Taurus, I've been running my Glock in there just fine. Guards the trigger just like I wanted to. Sweat guard covers where it needs to, it's fine. So I actually haven't done the shell swap yet because I hydro dipped that and I wanted to keep it. So, but it runs both of them just fine. They're both in there really well. So my recommendation, so I'm still looking for something that will beat the Alien Gear and I haven't found it yet. I think the only thing that's going to beat it is a newer version of the Alien Gear, which I'm sure I'll get eventually someday. I'm really interested in their new shapeshift, but this is better. I can tell you it's comfortable, it works, its quality is great. I have worn this basically every day for, it's been over a year. Over a year that I've actually owned this. And at some point in time, pretty much every day of my life, I've put this on. I've had a full-size Walther in this. I've had an M&P shield. I've had this. I've had this. I've actually shoved a couple of guns that this wasn't made for, just for testing purposes. But so it's been very versatile. It's worked for me and very comfortable, and I've had no problems with it. So if you're really just uncertain, you're like, hey, I want to get one holster so I can kind of try different things, see what I like, see what works. Cool. Go grab one of these at the store. You know, test it out for a week. Most stores have a return policy, so that's fine. Take it back with the receipt within 30 days or something like that, and you can get your money back once you know it's comfortable, or keep it. Because if you're anything like me, I've got a handful of different holsters. I've got an old Uncle Mike's, the super cheap $10 holster that's actually mounted into my truck that this goes into. This could be used the same way. I could pop some screws and washers and put it in, and it'll hold just about anything. So there's always a use for an old holster, but not for daily carry. And I think it's not a good long-term solution, but it is a good temporary solution. Or if you're like some of us and you run out and get the newest gun on the market, the custom holsters will generally not be available for it right away. So this will work until something better comes out. Now the CZ is starting to get more and more popular. People building for that. And, Glock 19, everybody has those. A lot more people are starting to carry ones for the stores now. So, in any case, that's my thought on this. It's cheap. I don't expect it to hold up. But for a temporary use or a backup, it's fine. Mount it to a vehicle or screw it on your nightstand or something like that, it's fine. That's it. But again, this is Crossfire holsters. I'll put a link to their website, and I'll link Alien Gear because I love them. They have the most awesome customer service I think I've ever dealt with, and I've had to call them a few times for different things, and I've just chatted in with basic questions, and they're super friendly, very knowledgeable. They do a lot also just for the gun community as a whole, which I really like. So Alien Gear still has my heart and my affection in the holster world, and I look forward to getting some more of their products. So that's still my winner. So on that note, Alien Gear wins, Crossfire loses, unless you just need a backup or something like that. And as always, everybody out there, stay safe. Make sure you carry concealed every day.